Dramani Mahama calls for the end to tribalism, religious extremism. Ningina was young say ye be edia free yakwem. Rise above selfish interests. Kadna appear kwajo Texan. Akacha Ghana for say selfish interests. Anunkwa bedi magana juregu emfa no be sense asa sensuo. Emo me ma kwa woso asabe. Wa mo fra wedi democrat emfa no. Ayo. After your marking leads MPP to the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service. Celebrate a National Day of Repentance instead, said by the PNP leader. OBS COVID-19, I say a page and more, Yenya cases bear 107, said by the Minister in charge of Health. Sabi de obia emfri mu de $4 billion 24-hour economy ene ye ba aba bedanedi when in sembi and I have seen konwa ye beto to hodwen hye so said the former regional secretary of the New Patriotic Party, the former regional minister Honorable Kwame Duncan ewa ha ena ya papa ya de adamfo yenua Dr. James Kwabena Bonfe Jr., Executive Director, Right of Youth and Disability International, also a lecturer at UPSA. Honorable Richard Amponsa, a champon, Honorable Richard a champon, where NDC Mashibe Jenny Elbia East. Penfui and I hear her quine say, don't hear about queer anyway, you know me dinkumo. Doctor, Yamachimo Aquaba,
campaign manager.
Campaign manager. You may be free.
That's right.
You may be timio.
Yeah, men are nanum say Srevenia, ye woo, and I see woo for a fun and quan hiano. Nti a team come we near wadi. Ye denyamias so say, Wama a faithful fro ato or my Ghana, I and Ra. Ushimupa, ye fan would ye. Popin, I dimu, I ye dear, who say, or my ma, dane da, yenny a betre, said ye yen fat ye mine unco. I any race for in Kitawan as a tracabia near day and terminal, a cry, crack near dear home, I be beer moon.
There's a bear de Shimano.
Bear de Shima, cron, fita, Uncle Kawabia near hono, a year, July 1. 1960.
Because circulating flyers be
not only that, Odi, because March 6, 1957 remained inadequate, insufficient, meaningless until July 1, 1960. Enti Usha ye from who dia ye see nyano 1957 no. Na Kwame Nkrumah ye mra wo Ghana ha on to me sign. E ma ne mra. I just say any race your bar him and now we senior friend Governor General Lord Listowell no on the sign. Dear Tosubio, Yamra yes we parliament and Mukrano. Now say you shall say any race
Diano
Diano baby and Kikawabi and Nimu as any nante Kwankrum Pepe and yes
there's a one shed down point shed down near who saw
that be didn't friend partial independence no. Dear Tosubio, Osha a foreign policy directioner. It was at the dictate of the head of state, who was the queen, represented by the Governor General. And I yamra we are. Ansana mrano baba yamra parliament pass ya abe from bill to act no presidential assent. Abe sine president yamra parliament we are president bia sign no. Eye July 1 and a chassis. Then you were be a friend commander in chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. It wasn't there before. In fact, from 6 March 1957, na Babe Pim, July 1, no, na Obroni Koko, Obahima, na Musini one my friend say, the Governor General, no, on na Commander in Chief. Our head of state.
Tiania Shasumame.
Na Shasumame. Enti July 1, no, na sitre pa no, I can tell you that, Yaman Penin 4, ni titru, Mampenia, Otramu, any Mampenia to say, Yanti as ye.
The former president
and the current president.
Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo. And His Excellency
President John Dramani Mahama. They have not fully and well appreciated the significance, the import and relevance of July 1 and its place.
Why do you say so? I don't know, Kasa.
Sure. Nanado July 1 commemorative day in its Republican status. Not just say, yebe kaida.
Yebe kai.
And so da ni nina hopa na yewo friend say afofida to say the March 6 yede ye no ye firi ho eti ni dibre so
mu duro no so hwan
ema ni hwan no eso te
okay
the tosubio ene say commemorative no I say nipa kakra bi ena na wo mbekwa koye bibi
ebi senior citizens
na say in fact Republic Day no and they twa senior citizens na ade ye mom awards na ade sabri no mu so de mekaja mu and ye institute state awards obete order of the
Volta
of the Volta or companion of the star of the 1960 July 1 and this anema no e baaye and enya no nko ye yes awi a nipa o mamu no nyina sese nke kabo nkokoye no yakoye nipa kakra bi commemorative enne then Mampani Mahama Swaye.
Thanksgiving and prayer.
Or say wayano prayer and Thanksgiving day. Ubia onim mabakosem ene de mejina sese yi. Mejina miasem dipa. Mejimpa ye dipa. In fact, mpempra me no kasa ikra no, me sua na mesem mpempenso a e wosoro pa. Makotena seminary. Me guso say me sua.
Obaso be sofo ana.
Oh, eno de on sachaye ne nyamesem ka ehu hia sen say obe be fra osofo.
Okay.
The first object of theological study is self-conversion.
Sure.
Fanu kwatro. Nti asoma making mean to mpaya ase kra. But obi a ote mpaya ase no na wasua enimdifo a wo mu nim mpaya ase. O kind steps to Christ, Mame White. O kind Andrew Murray 1895 with Christ in the school of prayer. Empire enye dealership, enye deals, and enye demand. A relationship, a daily affair. Ubet me a yida krubiaka say enye ujrada. And I say a day of atonement, special prayers. A daily ritual. But the most important thing, and I say, a relationship with God. Aya nkita hundia uni yankopon di de bia, enye demand. And I say deal a woni yankopon kwakoye. Ne ye no nrai. Asembe ne kai. At a time when for the first time in the history of this country, you suspended a chief justice in a manner make us a phony trial. There's a threat say you pay electoral commission. Pay for. Reconciliation. Mampani kan wasem. Mampani ka say yan kambom ni yemu man.
But so okay, so Osadi to just say no one is above the law.
Yes,
even the presidency.
Yes. But go through due process. And I can tell you, sir, I'm describing what is going on with the Chief Justice as phony trial because from the very beginning, which started with the President, His Excellency, then as candidate, on the chassis.
Boko.
On the chassis.
And in sabo microphone.
Okay,
Kabla we honorable cracker mama man say we say honorable because na me chia ni say what let me enchant better me chia o me gwa me
don't stop the flow
that me chia no agi me so keke
reserve don't chia
the on ye no wani je ho okay but honorable kwam na dan kan so e wa ha o se kabila nto aso ewi e beba no so nti yanko
nti wo ya reconciliation a it is not just word. Okay, 1 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 5. I see enye anu kasa kekewo. Yemfa ne ye a ekọ eba Nyankopon Yesu Kristo tumi mu. You cannot get light when you are disconnected with the source of power. You can't preach unity and be on the path of disunity, confusion, vengeance or revenge. It cannot be. And that is what we seem to be doing. And I was praying that Osofupani Cardinal Texan ne sermon nanko be picky the ancient prophetic word for nation building. Micah chapter 6 verse 8. Also, what does the Lord require of you? Again, say obey near tene. Na wasua ahumobro. Na wabrɛ ho ase wɔ Nyame anim. It's a very short text with deep implications for both religious, spiritual, and secular life. It is missing as we speak. Unim nipa dodo a professionally. Ya ka kyerɛ mo sɛ ɔmo nkɔ tena fie because aban a waba say ɔyɛ resetting. Na nkrɔfo a wɔ hɔ no ɔmo nya ni party ma. District coordinating directors, deputy coordinating directors, directors of state institutions. Baako kra de institution baako won kran ha no mu a ɔde obi call second man wɔ ministry. Ɛma minister no throw back. Say adentina ma ɔde ne ba hɔ no abra wɔn mo na mane. It's happening under this government. Teacher for your far one
ministry by allegation
but they know.
So people say me allegation.
I'm not making an allegation. And look, the president knows I love him. I have a relationship with him. We are kin and kith. If some of me can wombe tieno asipamu say trimpopa na mede.
But so be too good from mamu say ministry be.
Enya honkwa. Look, my mama. One to say teacher for ye omo Mr. Julius Debra let be oka say obi aye fan within a certain period. Ye di. Aye yi binuma di aye sign for omo because omo koye videos omo ye NDC for. One thing.
Man te say yes omo ye NDC for but yes after.
Video say omo ye NDC for nti reverse directive no.
Omo claim so omo ye NDC for. Okay.
Say mo dan mo ye di say ye MPP for. Yeah NDC for. It was reversed. Bank of Ghana now you nipa 100 now.
Yeah.
You see probation. Say no say suspended.
But almost I call you back.
I didn't see here. What was it? What didn't important na actually. I know you dey about bontia eti o. Me catch eno ya obi free district bi pani pa wa catch me or frame me because onim say me wo
platform abitimi.
I am making aha. Or say ono wadi a friend say coordinating director e wo district bi for the past 6 years. You say on handy over Mobia onto the district assembly concept no crasi. What is happening to institutional memory?
Then only prayer and thanksgiving no track abene wo.
I say oh empire no enya empire no keke awo say wo bono.
Okay.
And I make us empire no kra no enye demand and enye deal. Ye boy ma me transaction.
A relationship.
A relationship. Enti ye bon empire na ye command ye can see the way command the CD amana stabilize and say you are not putting in place the structures that will streamline and improve on your economy. It will come to naught.
Enya juma
ebet me aye ephemeral ebe ye ni so but enche. Now asema me kan biom eso ne say wo bom paya wo ka say yemfa nkabomu mampani kan sem bia eye mpani nkasa pa say nipa baako onu kwantimi nye ye nyina ye nkamom. Indeed, me bonaba so sakasa no kan. Na mum de me twa adwan si so ne say mampani wo kasa no. It is not just words. Ni yoya ye no so esese edi akire. Wono mu a edi wachi anase wapa wono mu a wo mo so kasa omo ntumi ni ebinom nya adwuma free say wo mo ni wo manyokuo mu. Chief Justice onko because all reset judiciary. This has been a consistent and relentless wage of words. Over time. Besina yegusu ye. Na wo ya sa no me. Be dan na makase me kan ubi when you are action now we no is going to affect me adversely. Adina wo ye no so kra na nya se e fa mmrakwan so ana kwan pa so. E kwati kwan so na wo fa. Ontimi mfa kwati kwan so enkodru biapa. They make akusi no. Enti yesi yanka mom ya mompaye ane yamfa trimpopa ane na ye no yoye ne ye no ene ne se eno ne de mi rezi na ya ka ne se na ye se kwa abakose mu kakra sa July 1 yi ho asem America no 1960 ye no kwa mkroma okasa ye na okasem bi me de bia miswa ntimi ntuma mpanifo ene abanyifo na ti de okaye ewo ne ngoma ya to din I speak of freedom katafa etoso ahanu aduasanson
200 page 237.
I condemn those African leaders who are attempting to temporize by arranging behind the backs of their people, and said that the force of the mass movement towards freedom would not tolerate reactionary and double-dealing politicians. Double-dealing politicians. Mau ane enye ane na udabi enye udabi. Emre ye ninkaso. Osajifu Dr. Kwame Nkrumah na ankasa. Oye Ghana for by. And for the most part of the foundation of our country, Odi Yenim from 1951 to 1966, about 15 years, on the dominant figure. When they see he left the scene, and in the latter part of his life, Odi may can't see me with all the humility in me, because a solemn issue. Sakratai was written by Mamia Efreno Jumel, Kwame Nkrumah, the Conakry years, the life and letters.
Page
409. Nkrumah told me he did not know Achampong, but that the coup appeared to be a step in the right direction. Till I did so hope that Nkrumah might receive an invitation from NRC to return to Ghana. They must have been aware of the seriousness of his condition. Months before, Sekou had sent a special delegation to Accra to inform the Ghanaian government of Nkrumah's condition and his wish to return to Ghana. Buzia's government had ignored Sekou appeals. With the overthrow of Buzia, it might have been expected that the NRC would have acted to allow Nkrumah to return home, especially since he did not seek any political position, but wished to be in Ghana to see his mother, well over 90, once again, perhaps before his death. Nkrumah's son, Dr. Francis Nkrumah, visited his father briefly in Bucharest, not long after Achampong's coup. We in Bucharest thought that the NRC had asked him to report on Nkrumah's medical condition. He could not have reported otherwise than that his father had only a short time to live. Yet, no invitation was sent. Even if he had been too ill to travel, it would have been a gesture which would have cost nothing and which would have given so much pleasure. To me, it seemed dreadful that such consideration was withheld from Nkrumah, the founder of Ghana's independence. Nkrumah saw no other visitors in Bucharest apart from myself and Madame Sekou till he died. Nipa otisa me kansade to say Nkrumah pachew 3 times say ye manamra Ghana nanka ombiwu. He had to die in Bucharest, Romania. Mere yeninka so. Professor K. Buzia, second prime minister. Eventually, he was also sent in. He also had to go in exile after this Achampong coup. He died there. Dr. Hila Liman, the third leader of Ghana and the second president. The condition in which he was. And in your firm, Mpeniatro, Professor Vanada Mensa, emeritus professor. Watrobi. Okay, tributes are ye during Liman Owu Yesoswa, B.A. Mensa, the late B.A. Mensa, Troy. Mr. Jerry John Rawlings, NDC cover by Owen or Bekono. Not only Amanyuko NDC or Yen cover by no cry, 9 to say. Me Srewe Nama Kokase. Mre Sebi Yeninkaso. Sebi.
Okay.
Or mind teaching. Or Baku for anase nipa kuo bin kuto eya enye. Sa Republic Day na ye tutu na se no. Yenyai.
To the office, Thanksgiving prayer na ye de
You can have a national special day for prayer and Thanksgiving.
But I say Friday, a holiday.
Not me pacho. Holiday assembly and me be. But to combine it in the Republic Day is to water down one or the two. What in me no so? And answer what back so. As I say, in Republic Day, no dear Jama, Yama, Shansama Mikikaye. No, I want to come once more. Side program no more. When they can, what it means to have the Republic of Ghana on July 1, 1960.
But second na appear Texas some kind so na Udika say we should rise above selfish interest.
You say edi kan na meka bia kan ho kra Mika 6 verse 8. Osofu pani what preach pa na meka say da no aye chusu di yes ade no. Opani agekuma ye o kan asem bi wa ha. Bre ene bia. Ehia ene ma asem di mu. Ye wa asem bia ne ba bia ye kan no ni nipa o kan.
The Republic Day nankasa no one said ante ho pampa.
Abi
I don't know how.
Me how no. Ena, je me di we deferred holiday no. Ena ya say ye ni holiday no nra. Ye de kwa kwahye fiada meboa.
Aye.
Fiada iso ne okonda e wo America. America for Independence Day no.
Say ye America for.
Ye America for na Ghana for e wo America. Ye say ye Republic Day no. Wo mon recognize no on the Independence Day of the nation in which they are hosted temporarily no. Send a sequel. Apart from that, you see, holiday now you say you dey kwa kwashe one mono. Media dey mi busa ne say anye bia no. Dey na na esi ho kwan say this holiday ni be hye enra no. It is to water down the significance and the importance of the Republic Day. Odi me de masem no ba na wie no. Dey make kan kosi nyina ne say. Oh my Ghana. Ne chichire ne ye no. Eye minu mina ene dodo eni han mu nyina na kan obi emani
edase
nyai amanyosem e di pai mu ba mene wo kasa sesi ayi there are a lot going on in state institutions nipa bi no wonu professionally ye twa omo ka bosumi bia nso ya ma omo tifie omo pa omo ankasa omo nim. Now let me tell you why they should know and ought to know. Mampani woni sa anopa bia onya national security briefing.
Yeah.
Nsama ye kan o radio so yi. E kan ho bi. Chief Justice and sama ye kan ho asemi. Ayi menyam na me kan Supreme Court na ankasa na no de sema wakeka from 2005 besi ne kwanya ye fa so e de ye article 146. Na no ya majority leader kwa kote ho ma ye hunu say omo awunim say de omo ye no e fa kote kwan so. O say omo the regulation beba. Which is an admission that there's a missing important point in the process.
Okay.
Now, ufa kwati kwanso akwakudu atentene ho amana yiyi. Yensom
enipa. Dr. Kabila does
national security, presidential action, any on my munu nyina yen dodo no nyina ye beti ye ho ase se yen no do ye ho. Yensuro nyankopon yemfa no kwanya adwuma me kwa hoden empia Ghana no man yi yesi mu ache medase
yenso ye dase papa Dr. James Kwabena Bonfe Kabila ena ye frɛ no ona mote se ode ono sandu nisem efa enu adwumadi e koso enkra kropon mo no chano sa wote enka wo Hello FM ewu Kumase Samson Kwame Nyame Chema da Roma Asantema ete enka Rock FM o Takra de Full FM Tamale sanso ade share wo Enzima FM Enzima ne important so yedama se manka simle important so Costa FM and other radio stations try and wish our Ghana the Matisamuti Kokrokoo. When go honorable Kwame Nadanka, honorable Yasha. And so with Kabila Kanina and so what's with the Moran and Mano?
Now, they're coming soon, crying say, since we win elections. You have created so much division, Ama. It is affecting even private institutions like Peace FM. I'm
the onsen
Chama Juna Beba.
Oh, when Gaza or Beba, and answer on ma, may say, oh, hey, oh, how many or Nasa and Cramini shy. But what is he?
So
that's the win of an election.
No, listen.
Can go into
what we say question you should expect an answer. Doctor, with the man I'm idea. What we say question, you should expect an answer.
Yes.
Yeah, enemy say.
I'm better of my answer. So maybe some questions.
The questions
allow his question to stand.
Yeah, and he needs an answer to the question. And the Ubi question,
be matter be saying questions.
Mo
and no question rhetoric. Monina, Jan.
I go back and say what to be vegan from
let us start.
The only so the what the media oil. That be say it's about mistation.
Oh,
baby, I'm here.
You can also say, but Obi a winner.
campaign manager. You know that I don't speak with mischief.
Sure.
And you
want now see your man and
leave it in the air. One can't as someone and for peace from who. A binman was it. Wake being a national prayer and Thanksgiving. In our patch there. More Tuma was a main private institutions quite affected. Mobia, I feel your chassis. This is the 7th month. So, Yombo, that is not the issue. As someone can leave it. Yeah, my don't attempt any answer. Odi, my yano cry. More platform be kaka. Mama here, may a comfort man no being pebia.
Exactly.
It's a similar way, cry upon to other most some here platform me. Nancha Marsum Ponchem Wesi, ya come from home, but ya come from home. He has just asked a question. Leave it. Don't answer. Leave it there. Wow, you wasn't. Was one, but now what the room? My baby.
I feel what I'm just saying. You did, hey, to me, I'm going to Duncan. I'm Duncan, don't know, man.
If no, you pilot, only in charge of the flight. And also, stakeholders.
We're stakeholders of the business. Aye. But who come be any class or call them?
Oh, Metasi.
Okay.
Opinion to the government standard or that way.
Sure.
In your standard now. One task. As far as we are concerned, we will to more point or the insights to the requirement. You go can see at me as you are Nana your cassetim.
Yeah.
My main charger was so wish you are bo. We may na umbazem bo. I bear Ted in the line. I was it to me. Ne Jumea Ozi. Oh, you wanna a cassetin. Oh, no position then must say. Nam kwabido can be my son yano kwanda kwami on ya
no correct
we not tell so ntrim there other ya me another ya me azomeche na se binmo baha na se wo kokagina agba no kwaga kansam nsam on sam fata afanyimpa no ho na ase abaha there baba tana na no program do na ase akasa onye yimpa no twuwenyim there me mo kwan man kagina be binga kansam on sam fata on ya no kwa wo kwan biado na wi a platform yi emi ekejinam na akọwe na ma asem poto platform ya sa abatena do on the basis of the political party obi sebio na oja ne kitu on cherry bia on inti on the platform of a political party mo akaka bom da bomba na se mo amba ha
but honorable good news ne say the national chairman of the National Democratic Congress abetre video awutisua
that is good news
honorable wadaroma unzo kasa makwan obuna ni demo abetre video so akase issues bia eba Kokrokoo any NDC intem no nyame adom yakama natwa video fiti dwada minya akwan say this week me run show you know NDC has been part of this discussion from Monday to date and they say honorable Echampon and Kwema Oba to them wadaroma
it is characteristic of them out so who suba bia so the work program one bantam da do ha wo baba betin okay okay ma wa twa ma ba can characteristic everywhere
honorable Kwame na danka
but put on beside the point
o dey man national Thanksgiving
ma ba kama some na me baba kan
tete
and you okay ma never be late say obi an answer na ba doesn't matter, which means that you don't have the potency of mind and so always you want to wait and so on your door but national chairman asemi alekada obatan there hweyin hontemin
wangasa hwini on chesina issues wo ho
which were the issues
example for say
which were the issues this station
of fiachi eni abofom ya wie ho no
if Kwame Sefa can sit in this big chair the chair he has created
sure
and made it that big
exactly
oh nana ya
working beyond this station
yes
charity
and paying for what the they listen to and they monitor. Are they able to tell us? Are they able to tell us?
Sefa is the morning show host.
Are they paying for our monitor? Are they able to tell us there? Kwame Sefa has so misconducted himself, or there has been an issue where create a certain impasse between the station and the NDC. Mama of the Manasha Jabba there and send me one team. But some no by.
Honorable, where the Mwakuma from Kakra. Ubune ni dim.
That is why I'm telling you that the genesis of what happened was that a certain boy came here, stood somewhere and said all kinds of things about Kwame Sefa, and then decided there on this same platform, you better or look, Mama Fakajan baby from him go to true form. That is what they are talking about.
Well said.
An impasse.
Honorable, me no nya chini wo ho. Dia wo kan AC sa Ghana fo nyina ya we. But asidan kan Yankopon say, yempa ni 14.
There was nothing for asidan to kan Yankopon. There was nothing in the first place. There was nothing in the first place.
Honorable.
But the only thing is that I say, them American no man be achen. Itum aba ho nsem. Yeah. Itum. Until we feed the
but honorable. Honorable Kwame Nadankai.
Unless, of course, you will not permit us for us to flow. Odi, the matter is that leave it to hang in the air.
Honorable Kwame Nadankai. Who say Ashase no? Say the wawa kano. Say fa kind in nim deni ni nyansa. Abua morning show no. Ama Kokrokoo. It is the best morning show in Ghana. Say fa kind in penfo nyansa eno maye. Magia to me say. Sebi, emi bia besen kono na NDC ne Kokrokoo ntem enye kama. Dia wo kaye no. Eya de a esiye. Na me mpese esa ba koyechi. Ejan say de esiye ne ya trawo ama aso
koyechi. You liberty and freedom to comment o.
Yeah, your liberty
won koyechi. You had tum koyechi. You tum eje ya.
You kwenyim. Wako kakra he.
It's tum kara. Only time as far as long as these are matters which are commentable, we will comment. It's in Kalaman Koyechi. I want to know Koyechi. You don't know any time. As long as the
forward ever.
Oh, even
honorable forward ever. Honorable forward ever. Backward never. It's me that say.
And I pray my mincho some kokra. Let me cheer. Wait for and pim. Nkan fin manto mofo na michia owura ba omia moto ni mokra na nsan mako na michia oye Accra East Electricity Company of Ghana Accra East opinion adahwanu engineer Bismarck Otu Odi nejuma senyi owa ho brade obejuma papa ya men charge office as regional minister no central region anoye engineer Pena other electricity company for her name in ejuma na odi friend second the same second in the office. Na medinenyo dinechira they would do a man needs our young clan a juma reason oh yes oh fair and see and I pay oh engineer Bismarck Otu so it's a ma obu abado we juma reason painful wonchia wakan ho ma wataba otra kwachirin wonyina wobozimpa na zimpa no so ba mama uchi mi yoda koda na yaza oye na fasom woman echi mo tweti odi munya gakraba techi mensa afi onya afi papa man kra I nejuma as party secretary up and down asam ba yedo na de asam na abotu kum the office you occupy so there ye office no ho ejuma nti oye it is one that is cast on you on ye da abotu me you ho afim nti oye nejuma as party secretary okobenya na wa abona ato odi wofa na ejuma mu oye 2023 there's a first quarter of 2023 President Gufodi NPRA National Pensions Regulatory Authority onam Bediaku committee and a commission. I don't know what it was a commission. It was a commission or committee. What the Bobo Adema 3-tier
single spine salary structure.
3-tier pension obey or your private for manga say mutual one and mamu by and son abandon the 2-tier. more the MPRA the Bobadi. And Chelna, Ofia Bema and MPP Fia Bema and this Fobe. What about Grandpa is Scout the Wotia? Oh, yeah, some Scout the Wotia with the MPRA. Oh, yeah, pensioners, Mosca. Oh, yeah, some a good father now by but she share near to track. Come on. The my brain and this far. What for the major man, a good father now do. Obiara you are none simple. No kind.
On a by China, my mic can be one of a
Obiara you are in fair watchina a kufuado. MPP are buying a kufuado dano. MPRA specific. Obiara you are in the wife for now, you Juma war and this cyber no kind. Obiara Yenejuma. And this Fubai. Take it on them, there's a second month or third month or so. Second month or third month. No way unity. For fun 2023. First, I think first quarter or second quarter, 2023. No finish room. Obea no unity. Straight away. Odi, I will hold something in there.
But so MPP ni.
But on your gunning. Okay. Yeah. When people are offering computer or baby computer or the doctor to know that up and down when doctors the model. Which I want to classroom no one's yard, there were more doctors, one or the other two to model. Nagasa, no muto. What television do? As they knew me as an NDC person. What by plan for Boma Badu or Mum Post crack Nagasa 8 years I went. 8 years were National Youth Authority. I'm not too sure whether it is National Youth Authority. Either YEA or National Youth Authority.
Okay.
As me Juma 8 years was sent crowd promoting Ghana Gas. A baby or and there's a problem at Ghana Gas war. Yeah, the Doma or Dawson will be 1 year. What by we be crazy? Ekufuado na bredo 8 years. 8 years or ye Juma we no crab we chikosi ade wo bo na abado promoting. And only the say acting CEO said na end this for by nsem bia o kan fa Ekufuado aban ho bia 8 years wo for end this abredo nso when you ye Juma promote you gina bio crabro chikosu ade nyina yimde pagyaw na me kampa men se mokwan ana men ye mokwan odi wese menu agakraban yanka no mpaibom apart from wahwe na adwuma na wokafo odi be moda in fact the last 3-4 months it has not been easy for him. What print? In a back kolebu, about the kolebu, to the up and down. A more the Nimpaya Wanasi Timmy Biara. Nadano 2 weeks ago was giving me an update. On America Saudino Ursu phone.
Yamen Chichenere.
Nah, Teji. Afibi. Oh, yes, son. No credit. Yes, son. Gina Wonado. Yes, sir, so there, Yame, Shrinson yet. On Sinensa. Be my woman for one couple or done on Sinensa. On soon yet, young coupon, you are. I don't mind yet. No credit. Na Umpejan Sawa, one do. O say ye bawo mia. O say ye bawo me. O say bawo mio, bawo, say bawo mia. Ma weninji, sawu do bawo mia. Ma weninji, sawu pe bawo mia. Ma weninji, sawu do bawo mia. Ma weninji, sawu pe bawo mia. Bawo mia obumba. That's all. O say
Wanzodo.
Bawo mia obumba.
Dr. Kabila Sodomano.
Baomia, Obwa Sofu, Ose. Baomia, Obwe Hafu. Baomia, Odobiara.
Honorable Governor Duncan, the man himself.
Baomia, Odogana. Baomia, on Tutuno.
I don't know about me, I'm going to Yakutiabo.
Baomia, Adrian Cassi. Ose ye Baomia. No say ye Baomia. Ose ye Baomia. Ha! Owu biara is Baomia chirin. There was an invaluable asset in him. Owu biara. Iye MPP iba. Iye Ghana yi. Ha! We have an invaluable asset in Baomia.
Obisa anyum say ya na medical opposition.
Heh. Opposition. Onya the for. Impa ko nka chane opposition. Onya the for. Mayayan oya kabima min kabi. Ghana fo na tum no ho nsem. Ghana fo na wa de wo che impa na ku a o mada hwano. And it is not a new thing.
Your messages are welcome on 0244. Honorable Meba. 0244 868592. 0244 868592. Honorable Twazo.
But abrabanu ye de abofom na akabebma abofom yonin.
Okay.
Ibofoma.
Then you were we no.
You were we no. Sir. Na papa hu na ehwa na mo na atu ma edibofom. Enwo meche na hwekwan abafado a basisa na akwanyim na sinkete na ma oda ye adwumade na oda ye ayema yankopon asan tonso agodo mama rehwan wonsaka
mate aveyamra topic ni so
ya meba na mankan da menwe na minja oyewa unua pen Kwame Sefakan be mo hye bia
Chairman General himself.
Yes, and I pay Kwame and I pay. Even though the period I was in a deep state of empathy, and I will not call it sympathy. It was not one that needed a certain sympathy. It was sheer, I don't want to use the word, but my spirit was with you, Kwame. They had to have a business win, and therefore they're using power to do what they want.
Omu winning ye almost say.
Okay.
Omu winning.
It's an pay Kwame. Be me will be a mature. Na mintum minja Kwame na minja. Mubombe. Kwe. Aya bon na me hu ne flash kakra wo Facebook. Ya kakra. Eti mrada kwaku be me will be a na pay. Mature kra mintum minja aloteso. A lot.
Ankro.
That no more window, Cape Coast Castle. Offend black Americans be. I'm saying, I quit say I tour guide and
a lot.
I don't say I'm going no, cut the hotel, yeah. It's also you know. Okay. In your double do. It's I'll pay me Johnson Kokra. Now, Mother Wupondo, and I pay Odi. Amazing Kama Canada, the fetch them. Those are my views. Or you been nata prayer and thanksgiving.
No, honorable. With all due respect, Mr. We are Christian, we are Jidini, we are public figure. To sit on this platform and use these words, you know.
Which are
I can't repeat your words.
It tells you that I'm saying that it is smelling. That is the implication.
This was a national assignment.
Oh, national assignment, but those are my views. Those are my views.
Very well.
What happened yesterday was nothing more than smelling. And I'm going to tell you.
You could choose other words.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you why it is smelling. I'm going to tell you.
Mr. Honorable,
you don't set this matter.
I'm saying
that for as long as it is not an insult, I'm only painting it to you. The stand, I see what happened yesterday. The stand to which I want to describe it.
Yes, I was 72. Obuene anidium. Medinya medi paucho. Jumei one ya neye. But say national assignment led by the president now describing in such manner. Honorable Anchey, me pacho bebre.
Odi, it does not matter whether it was led by the president. These are adjectives which I say that they represent
for the consumption of our listeners.
My views. Odi, permit me to explain why I say that it was smelling. It was nothing more than smell that comes out of those things. I'm telling you, and I'm going to explain to you. Odi, ya to abewi. Ya to aba 7th December 2024. Woman, getting out of your home, even to go to the street, was a risk to your life. A risk. District assemblies which were looted. A manful charge on them to set those homes ablaze. We saw, Odi, a manful crowd, people's workplaces. The list, I'm not sure if you gave me time, I'll be able to mention all of them. Workplaces. To attack people. To tell them that, look, we have one power, live here. And places that NDC people who said they had one power and therefore had to go to those offices to chase Ghanaian people, citizens of this country, to chase them out of where they were working. There's a governor, in the difficult period of 2022, and Wankasa was the parliament, didn't know that indeed the good people of this country had given a government a mandate. Was the parliament led by this speaker? A simple bill that had to be passed in order that the financial situations might stabilize. We did that for over 3, 4, 5 months. And that virtually sent this country into the doldrums. At the time, Harry Russo said that Ghana will even become worse than this Southeastern Asian country. No. There was this country that virtually collapsed. The name just left me. Virtually collapsed. And the president or prime minister had to flee. And the protesters went to... No, Peru. Peru is...
Venezuela.
No, not Venezuela. You are talking about South America. I'm talking about Southeastern Asia. Either Eastern... Oh. Compared our situation in Ghana, they will even become worse. In the face of those challenges, you had a governor, Kabila. You had a governor that had to use all at his disposal to be able to manage the financial situation. Odi, that governor has retired. A person who was the charge from the Ghana Armed Forces for indiscipline. He was a charge from the Ghana Armed Forces for indiscipline. He now leads the charge to go to such high-profile people, to attack them, to ransack their homes. Governor of this country, the boy, in those critical times. Odi, CCTV. I will not even mention that of the finance minister. I won't go there. I won't even mention that. Odi, Yelkese.
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka, fantastic. That's why you are Kabila PhD. Kabila PhD. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, their situation had become like a vegetative state. Vegetative. Harry Nedrusu, on the account of what they had used parliament to do, said that Ghana will become worse than Sri Lanka. They led that charge. They did not know that a government had been given a mandate. Number 3, you want power. You want power came into office. Odi, for the first 3, 4, 5 weeks after the elections, I tell you, you know it. It was a risk anybody could take going onto the street. Because a certain party says that they have won power. You do all of this. You don't know things. Amount for and pimpima where you were. When you were campaigning, the audios and the videos are there. When you were campaigning, asema catch Ghana for in there. Obia wa for the mamuso. Just go to the polls and cast your ballot for me. Sayaba and you so maybe there. Yaba for be there. Yadakam. Kabila, did he say or did he not say that?
He did.
I say, Obiara wa for wejumam. Mensro ko to aben to my NDC. To my oya Mahama. Na sa ewure ndam na se yaba. Obia yourself. Na mo me ba ne yaba fa. Foforo we Ghana for so yenwa kam. Thousands and thousands and thousands of Ghanaian people have lost their jobs. Enwa yada wo for the so-called fourth quarter of 2024. The so-called fourth quarter, which is the September to December 1, October to December 1. In 2023, 2022, as far back, for as long as they perceive you, you are giving the marching orders. You are sacked. And the America say, what's the tall? Security officers. Odi, security officers. You go to stand on a certain platform, you are talking about national prayer and thanksgiving. Security officer. What's Afroba? Nsepu ahe. Security officer. Odi, all pe kakra, wa hwe number. Talk. Tama oil refinery. They have all been sacked. Yesterday. Okay. I don't know whether you have seen the letter.
I'm here to see it.
And then Odi, you tell me that you have created a certain platform on which you are standing and talking about national prayer and thanksgiving.
No, over to us, 1 minute. Okay. Production amamenya ntiese honorable Richard Champon our NDC mashebi gwenima de shewo Bia East abato mpeswa so na se obabe kan ho anopekrebu ni dinenso empofruma wenya apomudin ehunsen binti ebeye den se obetima be kan ho ansa na ya
no obi ma
enti
anu betini NDC
we ye chopa awode ma production team no ene Mohamedika but honorable back to issue now kan mesrewo makoma mra from kakra mpacho bebre who say you are making your case but who your keniba and semna udi kan honorable mama Miss Reo, I know they are your words.
Yes.
But for the benefit of the station and our listeners.
My father, I should even use stronger words.
Debbie, I will not allow that.
You have no idea how many Ghanaians are in their closets and are groaning. You have no idea.
You also have no idea how many Ghanaians are affected by these words. With all due respect.
How are they affected?
Because I'm
telling you that what happened yesterday was nothing more than smelling.
Insult. Tobo, honorable Tobo.
He's responding to some feedback that may have come.
Yeah.
Those are also persons who
honorable.
Those are persons.
No, and it conveys exactly that is what I'm telling you. Mr. Bebre, honorable.
Look, when you feel strongly about something, nothing must bring you down.
No, and
I am telling you that look, what happened yesterday was nothing more than that, which smells from those things.
No,
I'm telling you.
No. Honorable, you are not being fair to me as your junior brother. I can never do that. I cannot.
Maybe it's part of the conditions.
No.
If you want to sack me, tell me.
Honorable, yes. No.
But I'm telling you that those are my. In fact, I hold on to those words. As for you, dissociate yourself. I have made those words. So leave it to me. If there's any flag, let me pick that flag. Let me pick it. At least you have done your part in telling the whole world, everybody listening, that look, you don't agree with me on those words. I'm saying that, look, I feel strongly about what has been happening. And I should even use stronger words.
This was not a political party event. It was a national event.
And you are telling you the hypocrisy of it. The hypocrisy when
you can say that all right, but the words I will use you know. I don't know
which words?
Okay. Therefore, Madaroma Obone Nidim, as a host of the show, I've done my very best, bringing my honorable down. Senke Jana Kuma Beba from Kakra. Nanso, Akwa Bibio, Yabetu Aso.
Eyma. It is an organization by the president and his government. Oh, but I've gone past that. I said that it smells. Yes, it smells. It smells.
Honorable.
Can I proceed?
1 minute. Only make Kasano, o describe Sifa Kaino. O say, Nimi dear, Ninyansa, our dear Kokrokoo, and will be Baha. Sasembi na all canoes su say, as some way the M1 or minor, a moon shadanya that or shanning manatry. We mean your penny.
Not necessarily. You only ask you. Not necessarily. You only ask you that.
But you make sure say you do the right thing. We mean your penny. Honorable.
But I've said
there's a good relationship between you and I.
Since I mentioned those words, I've not repeated them.
And I may say
I've not repeated them. Since I mentioned those words, I've not repeated them. Let me proceed.
Okay.
See.
Thank you so much. I've done my best.
You are talking about situation now. It's a national prayer and thanksgiving. Odi wo.
Oh, pa mi jo.
Yeah, kase.
Sure.
The three arms of government. Yeah, Embre Queen. Odi. Embre Queen mo asise you know. O se o man na yerbun. Anampo ebasa itum obia nenutum.
The three arms of government.
Yes.
Legislature, executive, and the judiciary.
Fantastic.
Obia ina juma na.
That's right. Yedi be juma. Emma kemem kebia yedi sha say at least for the Fourth Republic 1992. Ya besinde. Constitution another Embre Queen ache ekwan obia mfadunye na juma. Na ma yade chichiro man obokodu jojojo. Yakase. In the second month of the year they came into office, February. You know say wenya all petitions. Na owa ri say we free ya. Abra owura ma oba proud. That's more kind there. Oya atem wedjuman onu so ba opeyin no danu oba sesan odo nu tunchen a oya court batan Supreme Court onu na adwunu ma na de won hu de enwa wo hon won sam fata do ho na omampa inde kufu ado na onyenwe kogu ho enti NDC fo a woye mbranyimfo na NDC fo a woye ajajefo wonye ready na so ba obama won mudodo na wako oye court batan. These are all on tape, audio, video, they are all there. NDC fo a woye lawyer fo, NDC fo a woye ajajefo wonye kado na oba obepeja ho ma onwa akọ oye court batan na chi mo keka hunya bohwe wa yendam no san su kan su de oye embre ayi wo fa na ayi atemmu adwuman opanyi no adanu oba basesan obegin hwa ye kase Section Brekunina, Odi 146, Article 146, Clause 1. A justice of the Superior Court or a chairman of a regional tribunal shall not be removed from office except, so no matter what it is, that justice shall not be removed, no matter, except also for stated, or 3 legs, also for stated misbehavior, or incompetence, or on ground of inability to perform the functions of his office arising from infirmity of body or mind. 3. Also, Obia Oya Tamweni wo ya court akase ofi Oya High Court na regional tribunal kwampote the ne yadi adwuman ankwanyi pi sesi ampote ya nshada yenwo into High Court of Appeal in Supreme Court. Asi obi a oye temwanyi bia wo court da mu court ya mabobodini obi ara nyi ho kwan obotum ayi na fi na adwumam agide ndeme basan only stated misbehavior, incompetence, and the inability to perform his function.
Oh, linking it to national prayer and thanksgiving. And you're born upon me. Odaroma.
Maya,
send down person can go straight to know. Honorable, me, I mean, your penny.
Odi, and the member say, maybe so. At there, some way you paying Araba Isaba Tokonu, at there, na Junum can and no name on top. David. So which means that leg is off.
Okay.
At Sibio there, no Jumori. Oh yeah, at a Mojumori as a superior court judge, no your chief justice. At there will be a 2 major baby. Oh, Wajmon saying incompetence, Mrena Poyim and Tassi. At
so be a candy maintain.
Stated misbehavior. On a manner, stated misbehavior. This may even require a certain judicial pronouncement. Stated misbehavior. Is that what anybody interprets it? Stated misbehavior. Now, I'm linking it to this prayer, this so-called prayer. A chief justice in the period we have built our nation. It's never happened, ever. Unlike what happened on the First Republic, where Chief Justice Akukosa, for whichever reason, that's why he didn't go through this process. Our president at the time.
On the basis of the 1960 Constitution that gave
the powers to do that.
And with that power with the 2/3 of Parliament then.
But, Odi, ofi the Marbrina Besinde, yenya even military heads of states, military heads of states, yenya prime ministers, yenya president. Owura mama na aberdo. Obia enye brother o form a click okoto plane je no ho ademude over 5 million euros. Oh, you occupy the highest office of the land today. Obia no office, his office of the chief justice. O man kwan there afibiala e kwan da hu there o tu kwan no ka gina hom kakra na oro koso a onye obia opia to me to them kwan sika orukọ for her spending, as we have been told, a little over $14,000. Okay, a little over $14,000. Odi okrabrechi abaraba on penwasam okrabrechi sabi no wa nche 14 kwa mpo bia nche dey high life kwa Ghana ha ansana ya okrabrechi oyin kru krabrechi, and doesn't it make sense You want to go and have some rest, some relax. Who could be the best companion than your spouse? Only crew crab brochi. Odi 14,000 now. What the man? Or cracker spending just 4,000, a little over 4,000. Oba and wakechi na. Hey. Oya judicial secretary. Sike moko spending money. No what the man spend. Omutu me kakana. Or chacha the sort the 4,000 or the year. Nina. Impress ni or the man. Come on. You compare this person as Chief Justice against Obia, or use opportunity as Vice President to go and purchase aircraft for the military, and decides to use that opportunity to take a bribe of over 5 million euros.
Bribe?
It is as if you are a stranger. A stranger.
And I mean, a number of us, you came power by power.
Stranger. I'm telling you that. And when such a president, or when you have such a government, turn around, and then they tell you that, look, we have created a platform to offer national prayer and thanksgiving. What could be more smelling than this?
No, don't go back, Honorable. Don't go back.
So I cannot even use smelling to.
Honorable, we are Methodist.
You are saying I cannot use the word smelling to.
Because of your background, or Christian background.
Odi, you are gagging me. Odi, and I pay you for President Kasha. You as journalists, you have the space to make your comments for as long as it is the truth, and indeed you are reflecting what has happened to the Ghanaian people.
But
if you are not going to be that muzzled. Why do you want smelling? You are saying that even here in your studio, I cannot use the word smelling. What could be more smelling than that? You are saying I can't.
Honorable, I know you're brofunim demetro. Obune ni demo. But me say we are Christo ni. Me so me Christo ni. Say Christo on. Ye di BBC ho. Say ye di Christo abata ho.
What?
Na say o di sabe.
That is completely wrong. That is in fact, if somebody decides that beneath it there will be evil, and that on top of it they will place a charade of God, and so because on top of it, God has been placed there, or Jesus Christ has been placed there. Beneath it is true. I'm saying that true pure evil. You are saying that because of that charade. So is that the point you are making?
Look at the nationalistic state of the event.
Well,
say honor with the muye, amanyo for the muye.
Nationalistic state of which event?
Honor with the muye, the amanyo for muye. So mo magana yan kamu muda.
But that is the seed which is being sown.
So we can move on as a nation.
I'm saying that is the seed. When you have thousands and thousands and thousands of Ghanaian people, because you have one power, they have lost their.
Do you want to tell me say MPP winning power be losing the Ghana?
There's a crop. For example, if you go to the Ghana Armed Forces, as for Chief,
and this is not something new. And you be at the forefront.
I'm making a point to you.
It's a national event. Oh, I thought my Ghana ni kakra.
Every government that has come, you have the chief of army staff.
Yeah, where
you are. But I am making a point. What do you mean? Because you already know what I want.
But your mouth topic.
Yes, I'm making a point. I have laid the foundation, the premise. I'm building on the foundation.
And within 60 seconds, you're more simple.
Odi, the Ghana Armed Forces, every government that has come, you have at least, that is happens to be automatic. The chief of army staff, the chief of naval staff, the chief of air staff, and then the chief of defense staff. It happens all the time. Odi, you have Abaya Waba. All the top generals, from major generals all through up, when you win Eddie, Eddie, their aspirations, their ambitions, what they have invested in themselves to serve their country. Ada, what they want to buy as soldiers, all this while, in order to render service to their country. A party wins power, comes and dismisses them from office. Odi, when that has happened, And then you tell me there, you have created a platform to offer prayers and thanksgiving. Prayers for what? Thanksgiving for what? That is why I tell you what happened yesterday. And this one, this is not to the clergy. This is not to all those who came there. Those who sat and came up with this idea. And those who decided to organize it. As for you as clergy, as for you as Cardinal Taxon, the most revered, as for you, you were invited to come. But I'm talking about those who brought this into being. So when I say what happened yesterday, nothing could be more smelling than that. I mean, it is not to them at all.
Okay.
It is not to them at all.
Mate.
And see, as someone yet on there or mine cannot come and on the spur of this, you tell us that you are offering national prayer and thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's it. Now shout. Now one can be more.
Oh, did you? Ashasha Maba.
And the Avena go over. Can come about. Oh, come Rananga. And I go say that TC. Hello, 101.5 Kumasi Wandezo Rock FM. Ewa Tadi Fila, Ewa Tamale. Eagle FM or Cape Coast, Magazine su Costa FM. Ewa ho. Enche ni asori su Kufi Kumbesin. Ena bano production with Mr. Mo Kabila. Amami segina wan Kabia. Into where just a minute na Kabila. Honorable Kwamnadanka, please, for the sake of the station that you are sitting, please have mercy. Or say if any mercy or Madina and or Diabano. Or say for the sake of Odia and Kaunabu could have just withdrawn the statement. Odi, thank you so much. You are doing your best. May that say, also the Kobi, Takra, Odi, you and your colleagues have used hardship words to describe the GFA in the past. Stop the hypocrisy. Odia and Kan, GFA, no market Kebia Trompa, and there will be Kebia to be a wire Hunyakrum. And I told good morning, Odia and Kan, please ask Kabila to quote the quotation to me again. Quotation, how can me name quotation, Kwa, Opeso Bosso, and Mano Echo. I say, in fact, today I have really made my enjoy the program today. You ask this, I can your chair was agree there. Kateria on also dear or day Abba and no. Dr. Kabila, honorable Kwamnadanka, what it in a pa, but Yapon is Nkata, Nkebakon in tempo, but Yapon.
It's only been fita na tuntumia
get to every idea, you know. Matona, but I answer you.
You would draw.
Miss Mary draw. Now we're going to marry. That's the way you know. I need to Dr. Kabila, minuti so be in here. And then you do the higher seat. Na me teswa, who was the first statement? Who has to do draw there? Okay, on up, Yanko.
A bribi baya. You can say,
and your brief kakam with your patch.
Me jenu tietia. Mreya ye me no kase. Okay, fine. Odi.
Yeah. Mate. Ke point 10:30 na kodi 45.
You say COVID-19 e da so ho.
Yeah.
WHO ene Noguchi for Ministry of Health they atin na say mframamu yare da so ho. Nti enya hweye. Ye nhoro ye nsa ye ni ehuni. Na eni aduane a ehye se be ya ebekoyi. Na mprempra me ne wo kasai Ablekuma North constituency ye nyembo MP kra wo hon mudin even though say omanfo e wo hon mo ato abaji wo mo MP NDC form pene so enti ya my electoral commission end to me nyana dwuma yie electoral commission issue statement 19th December for press conference minister
yeah I'm only adding to it. Then you go and mount a platform and say national prayer and thanksgiving.
19th December.
Right here in
20.
Hey, honorable December.
And so, yeah, still. A posi for bamboo as I say the more mujumano. Yenye. No of us say don't get ya say. Yeah, one more I see one more quino. Yes, you one more quino omuntimi your woman yeno. And now say yes, you almost quite omuntimi your mudma yenti. Yam pam woman. Me fees of a hubium. But me pasa me can say me kai mampani say IGP a wo pam no who setting committee who can say only investigations into all violent related issues in elections 2020 and 2024.
Say na ocho baba.
No.
Na ocho so baba.
Oh we no me come and penny mama.
Look, I'm
boss. Ne boss. The late Professor J.E. Mills. Assembly Okaye on the 11th of April 2006.
Finally.
I say, these are difficult times for our country. It was my expectation that the MPP and NDC, having both experienced periods in government and opposition, would be working towards political accommodation so that the next political transition will be better handled and managed, that we will be putting behind us the politics of vengeance, vendetta, and vindictiveness. Professor Mills from the grave before Obekono and Okansas we made us.
Odi Yapon.
Sure. It's a national the National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving.
Say we.
Oh, me. Just 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah, can say. Abense bia no ye CEO of Buffer Stock. You have a person who we are told is a journalist who has now become the executive director of IOCO.
Yes.
That he's a journalist. He is a journalist. And I thought that if there was anybody who would not toy with people's rights, if there was anybody at all in Ghana, would be somebody who calls himself a journalist. Today, he's the executive director of IOCO. Odi.
30 seconds
more. One. On small. Saying, it is not IOCO that will pronounce his guilt or innocence. Only IOCO. Bonibia, why you be a manager? Intend to formulate your charges. Na you know, court. Embra, war, or your court. Na kubon kwedu. Na when you know from non-kwano, one chinaswa. That is what our laws. The fundamental way to deal with a criminal. That is the way to go.
Thank you.
Odi, let me land, please.
Wait, okay.
That
5 seconds.
Akafobi. That why you born in your cells, wherever in Yoko. He's been kept there more than 1 week into his second week. The mandatory constitutional provision there.
48 hours.
48 hours and say if you are
the victim, don't call for lawyers, Anna.
Odi, but that is not the way to go. Odi, that is not in running the affairs of a country. Odi, in running the affairs of a country, you do not make things so onerous. You do not make things so onerous for the citizens, and then you tell the citizen that go and look for a lawyer. Odi, that is not the way.
Next week, Brianna Fa no started. Why? Aye.
What do you mean I am saying?
There was we are me. I think.
I can't get them back your move.
I Okay, the voice of Honorable Kwam Nadangan, former regional secretary of the New Patriotic Party and former regional minister, Central Region. Hey. Honorable Richard Achampoye, NDC, Mashabi Gweni Madisha Bia East. Now, if you have been part of the discussion, and so when your health emergency issues binti, and I'm an enua, to say, Australian Yemfencheno, Yakupoya Duma, next week, Kwaning Kwawa, Obitimi Abba Abetuaso, Ebreno Akko Etiaye, Tia Soriso Ama, my senior colleague Kofi Conversing, glorious birthday to Mrs. Akusua, AJ of Ghana College of Pharmacists, Accra, from your sisters Priscilla and then Paulina. So mama itrim kwa ana Auntie Theodora Ochere Abuaje Paul. So my happy birthday. Aha, ena me dimusi. We didn't do a day in Kwame Bomber, Chairman General Kwame Sefakai. Nana ya okese the cardinal. We are building a nation. They me di ja amanyofo ne say. Misremu. Adie ye on mine asem die. Mama enye nationalistic. We can't continue to remain as a nation divided like this. Say NDC ya DNA nationalistic said MPP ni MPSO bejiso. Yeni MPP country or NDC country. You were a nation called Ghana. Say anya ya mo ehomode ni ye unite ni anke ehomoma. Ye be koso ayo man ni say. Emu nchirima. See tameti sunti ɛna meyɛ calm na nka yɛ nwoma bi a ba ne nyinaa yɛ. We are still in the learning process. Chairman General Nana Yaokesi, thank you so much for the opportunity to serve Ghana. Makramo.
Peace FM.
How are you spending your Republic Day holiday weekend? Well, why don't you spend Friday, 4th of July at your Daddy Family Fan Games? It's open to all, not just old